The third of the videos we're going to see in the trio of villages known as the Small Village of China is one entitled Small Happiness. This is a video that is going to focus on the relationship between men and women. It's going to deal with gender relationships. And some very serious gender issues are going to be discussed. In fact, in some respects, this video is not for the faint-hearted, because it will deal with some of the most difficult issues in Chinese culture today. But the word small happiness is based on a saying that is, the birth of a boy is a big happiness, and the birth of a girl is a small happiness. Why is it that one is a big and the other is a small happiness? Well, the first thing we have to recognize is that the birth of any child is a happiness. The woman who gives birth to a child has demonstrated that she is fertile, and by extension, her husband is also fertile, so they are able to produce a child, and that is a happiness. If it is a boy that is born, it's a big happiness, because that boy will live with the family, he will be able to take care for his parents in old age, and when he's roughly in upper teens or early 20s, he will marry and bring his wife into the household. That will mean that there will not be a son, but there will be a new daughter in the family who will also be able to care for the parents in old age. On the other hand, if the baby is a small happiness, given this practice where the girl child marries into another family and moves away into that new family's household, she's lost to the family. There are lots of practical consequences that work out. While the parents may well raise their children to be good Chinese citizens, they're likely to think that they don't want to expend a lot of extra resources on the girl, because they'll just be raising the girl to be a member of someone else's family. Ordinary household chores are likely to be taught to the girl, but real skills like reading and writing, higher education, why would you do that? You're just marrying them off to someone else. Now, the cynical response I just gave you is not my personal feeling, but I'm trying to characterize why it is that girls are regarded as a small happiness. Flowing out of this differential between the big happiness and the small happiness are all kinds of reactions. In this video, we're going to see a workplace where there's a male supervisor and a number of female employees. Well, unfortunately, the family characteristic that I just described, the big happiness and the small happiness, is going to have manifestation within that workplace. And they're going to extend beyond the simple issue of who's the foreman in charge of the workplace and who are the workers. Because in this case, it's not just that the foreman is in charge of the workers, it's because he's a male foreman in charge of female workers. We'll also discuss, this video is also going to discuss the practice now abandoned in China of foot binding, which from the Song Dynasty about 1,000 years ago until early in the 20th century was a widespread practice. It was not a pleasant practice. It was a practice that essentially meant that women broke the bones in their feet in order to bind them so that they would be very, very small feet, so that these would be somehow very attractive. There are sexual fantasies associated with these small, dainty feet. Nonetheless, that practice is discussed, and we'll discover that instead of something being forced on women, actually women accepted it as a norm for them. Everybody else did it, but they wanted to be considered attractive. That will be discussed. And then infanticide will be discussed. Part of the horrible conditions within China in recent decades. All of this will be a part of the video Small Happiness, which we'll be watching in a short while.